Now, despite once again a heartbreaking loss in a rivalry, there was some good last episode. Steven Tyler and Rob Braverman, two of our big guys, they want to verbally commit to become a Cardinal. That is fantastic for us. We get some help on the defense. In fact, that's where all of our recruits have been. Additionally, because we didn't do a whole lot with the tight ends last game, well, Mateo Reverend once again is locking us out. It's a C+, he's looking for a B- for playing style. So we need to get the tight ends back involved, but on top of that, we've also added 3 more tight ends to hopefully just make sure we have some insurance plans, because we need tight ends. But we also need our offense to stop being pulled in so many different directions. Daniels, we want him to perform well. He doesn't really have any deal breakers, but we've got a lot of young guys here who should be playing well. Irvin coming off his best game. At the receiving spot, Manor as well as Bachmeier, both sophomores. We want to get them both involved, but then we also need to get the tight ends involved so we can get our best option at tight end. Ultimately, we just need our offense to pop off in a way that we haven't seen. But we're going to have to do that against SMU, who opened the season with 3 straight wins. Since then, it's been a little bit rocky. They're 1-2 in their last 3 games. They've had 2 bye weeks relatively close, so they should be out there giving us their best. But it's our best that we expect as we head back home, Palo Alto, as the Mustangs come trotting into town. Now the question is, can we also start to get some of these fans back in the seats? With a winless record, but 2 close games the last few weeks that have either gone into overtime or down to the final drive. The few that did show up, we hope to give them a show. The offense has been on a upwards trajectory. Defense has started to make some big plays. Manley was the player of the week last week from our cornerback 2 spot. But we'll be able to get our offense out there first as we are underway. Thompson calls the fair catch, and we will start at the 25. Alik Ayomanor with a touchdown last week. 3 grabs, but not that many yards. The focus was on the running game, and as we get underway here today, that is where we start. As Irving will pick up 2. We don't need it all on one play, but we do need it consistently. Got a motion over Ayomanor here. Look for a crackback block. Get some of these guys out in space. Bursting through that gap. Irving with a little subtle juke into plus territory out around the 46. As long as we could get that running game going, it should also help us set up the passing as well. As we'll go out to one of the tight ends here, though, through the hands of Unger. That'll slow it down a little bit then. Change it up. We bring out Farrell at the slot to the right-hand side. He's in motion. He's going to take the jet sweep quickly, getting him outside, not able to slip under the safety. We'll end up limiting that one to just a gain of 5, leaving 3rd and 5. A little bit of some play action roll. No one quite getting open to the side, and getting the catch is Tiger Bachmeier. But the refs mark him short of the line to gain. 4th and 1. Offense stays on out. It's Butler, the running back, and it's yet another turnover on downs. That aggressiveness last week, while it also paid off in many aspects, potentially cost us the game. We'll see at all, if any, that changes here for Coach Bearington. As the defense is out, it's a stretch to the outside. There is a lot of green grass. Not going to get there is right, but eventually Labor drags him down. That is well after Jalen Knighton gets to the outside with a gain of about 26. A little hurry up offense here for the Mustang, as they are well inside plus territory here. 2 to the right-hand side, tight end in the backfield. As they go back to him, once again, he gets to the outside. Poor contain. That's definitely one thing we haven't seen from our edge rushers, is just securing the outside. And they spread everything to the outside here. Looking for a quick throw. It's right this time, getting the pick. He was tired of seeing his teammate, though, while I'm sure he enjoyed it, seeing Manley get all the credit last week. He had to remind everyone who leads this team in interceptions. We take back over at the 6, the Maryland I. Looking for a little lane here. Irvin cuts back towards the middle, and he picks up 4 on first. Now, Coach Bearington talked a little bit last week of how it was difficult to get audibles out on the field. now at home with a mostly empty stadium. We'll see if that's still the case as this jet sweep goes awry. They tried to get Farrell in some open space, though great contain from the SMU defense. And having to get rid of this one to avoid a safety. It's simply tipped away, and it'll be a quick 3 and out following the pick. Safe to say so far this one been a little bit more defensive, though still a couple big plays from the offenses as they go back to the handoff. This time, no gain. Galvin ends up meeting him as we didn't send a blitz that time. Maybe we don't need to do that every play. 2nd and 10. Trying to find unique ways of continuing to hand it off in essentially the same play. If anything, it's just a little bit of some misdirection. 3rd and 11, they still hand it off, busting through the 2 linebackers, gets a gain of 4, and they will end up sending out the field goal unit here. Kicking this one around the 45, a 55-yarder. Sinclair doesn't trust it, so he's going to trot back, and it's got the power, but he pushed it to the left. No good. It's essentially another turnover on downs here. But eventually, one of these 2 offenses has to find the end zone. As Irvin, he looks to rush it to the outside, back to the line. Both teams have had some good rushing plays, and both teams have had nothing rushing plays. Looking to pass this time, getting it to the outside and held on to this time is Unger. Still going to be a pretty short gain, leaving us with 6 more needed here on 3rd. Hard count from Daniels, no one jumps. As they will go with Ayomanor underneath, gets a nice subtle juke, sending the corner, and it will be a 1st down to the 45. Now, to try to build off of that, have an RPO dialed up here, but handing it off when it definitely was open, we'll get 1. With every play kind of being kept underneath, SMU is stacking the box. It looks like Daniels making a change, in fact, making 2 changes, as they will stick with a pass. Gonna roll to the left-hand side here, back to Ayomanor, make it 3rd and 2. And with it, we head inside the 2nd quarter, so the 1st quarter comes to an end with a 0-0 scoreline, mostly rushing. 3rd and 2 for the Cardinal as they start the 2nd quarter. They swing this one out to Ayomanor, look for a block. They will get the 2 they needed, but the ball pops out on the hit. SMU quickly jumps on it. What was looking to be the most promising drive here for the Cardinal offense quickly and abruptly comes to an end. We've seen many a game here go high scoring, several 40, even a 50-point game. This one we might be lucky for a 14, as Ramos was there, just entirely missed the tackle attempt, and SMU is into the end zone off another simple missed tackle, though honestly he should have been able to swat that one away. It's pretty quiet here in Palo Alto as SMU takes advantage. Now, hopefully the offense can overcome that, get back to what we were doing at the start of the last drive, and don't cough it up. Irvin looks to bounce it. It's a nice run to start. It looks like there's a flag down in the backfield, and this one is indeed backing up. This goes right back again to what we heard from Coach Bearington following their last game. They have had every opportunity in these games to get the thing done, but it's their own mistakes that are costing them. Bachmeier gets them back to the original line of scrimmage for 2nd down with a gain of 7. 2nd and 10, they drop under center. Though looking for the pass, it's to Roush through his hands. Though honestly, it looks like Daniels threw that one to the wrong drag. Looking for and finding Alik Ayomanor. He holds on to it, both in terms of a catch and not a fumble. 1st and 10, now up to the 37. As they go back to Irvin, slips 1 and picks up 2. Seems like Coach really trying to build off this simplicity, getting back to the basics. RPO, it's out to Ayomanor, and he will pick up 3. If that trend continues, we're looking at a gain of 4 for 4th down and 1. Hopefully that's not the case. 3rd and 5. Looking for a drag. Well, we've got a leak this time. He's getting a lot of catches early on in this one as he nearly found the corner there, a little hezzy. But he moves them back into plus territory where a 1st and 10. They go with the pistol ace set. And keeping it, Daniels, he tried to get to the outside. He was close. If he did, we're looking at a big gain, but instead it is a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 as they will drop back to pass. They've got a receiver breaking open, finding a little bit of some green grasses. Bachmeier getting him down to around the 22. Seems like they've kind of changed up how they plan on using him this year. When we started the year, he was a little bit more of a deep threat. Now using him for a little bit more some underneath play. As it's Borden coming in, and he will pick up 9. He's had a couple splash plays this season. 2nd and 1. As they go with a receiver screen, it'll be an easy first down here for Tiger. And honestly, that's something the Stanford Cardinal really hasn't been able to say all too much this year. Easy. As they continue with the RPO, they quickly get it out to Farrell. Great block from Malik and into the end zone. It's an opposite style drive that ends in the same outcome here for the Cardinal. Last time SMU won play, we methodically marched down the field. With about 3 minutes left in the first half, we tied this game. But outside that one play just mentioned, defense has had a pretty good one. Would love to see him close out the first half in the same way. Finish strong here, and if we give our offense another opportunity at points, then that would be great. But the running game, the offensive line just steamrolled. Sinclair was the only one who semi-made a play on that, and he really didn't. Up to about midfield already. There is a good stop on the edge is Tafiti. He's another one of that strong sophomore class that really is helping this team into the future. Look to develop them along our way as it's a quick flip to the outside and a gain of 6. But that will still leave them needing 7 here, and a beautifully thrown ball. Looked like that one should have been picked. Stone just put it on the money as they are now probably in field goal range, but Tafiti is back again. Sack from the blind side on the roll. Again, we've been referring to this a lot. After that last game, Coach talked about needing more from his front 7. He's seen a lot more as there's a great play from right on the outside. Tight coverage wrapped around at the catch and jarred it free, leaving them with a 3rd and 17. They're going to play off the line here. Good blocking this time. Tafiti eventually works around the edge. He forces the throw away. Now at the 37. Do they go for the field goal here? Last time we saw them have plenty of power. Was the accuracy missing? This one from about the 45. It looks all too good. Down the middle, SMU takes the lead. Good news is Stanford still has their 3 timeouts. 1:17 though, not a whole lot of time to make something happen. So they got to move quickly and efficiently as Bachmeier tip drill hits the turf. Or I guess more aptly so, the grass here, as Cardinal, one of the few teams who actually use real grass. 2 tight ends go to the right-hand side, and they switch off great coverage. They get the stop on Roush. And with that, they call a timeout. They're also looking for another opportunity, though. We've got a 3rd and 6. Hard count from Daniels. No one jumps. And a leak, he takes the slant, and he gets the first down. Nearly tried to break away from it. Was not quite able to. They will get back to the line quickly here. Looks like Daniels making his own custom play here. As he steps up in the pocket, he will get the first down and slide down, which will stop the clock as once again they go back to the hurry up. Just keeping with what works apparently, and it's Tiger Bachmeier with a first down into plus territory. Now this time they will not elect to go hurry up. They get a little bit of a breather for 1st and 10. A little bit of some play action, and yeah, checking that one back into the grass. Looked like they tried to set up that tight end screen. They've ran it about 1 time the last few weeks. Has worked out once. Roush here this time, he's going to get it and pick up about 6 on his way out of bounds. And we'll stop the clock, still with 3 timeouts, about 30 some odd seconds left in this half. Rolling, and they've got an open receiver, keeping Bachmeier in bounds. He hits the deck to ensure the grab. And once again, back to the hurry up, 25 seconds. As Daniels finally will head under center as the clock starts to roll. They do get a little bit of some pressure immediately, thrown away. So with 17 seconds left, slowing it down a little bit, this is where we could start to use those timeouts. As they roll, well, they've got Aomaner, who will not get the corner. First timeout called there, right before a 3rd and 2. With 11 seconds left, obviously need to make sure you get the first down, though touchdown wouldn't be missed. Bunch to the right-hand side here as it's Farrell down at the 1. Another quick timeout. Perhaps they just wanted one more chance to see that tree shuffle as we've got 1st and goal. It is thrown to the outside, and diving in, Tiger Bachmeier gives us a halftime lead for what might be the first time this season, 14-10. But overall, that was a fun first half, and those that did show up here in Palo Alto, I'm sure they're enjoying it. 8 targets, 7 catches for Tiger Bachmeier, 81 yards and a touchdown. It's definitely been his breakout game. But we've also seen a lot from Aoman. What we haven't seen much of is Irvin and the tight ends. We'll see if that changes here this second half, but it will be defense out first as they start with a run. Quite obviously, that's where they've gone most of the time today, and it goes as a gain of 12. Knighton has just done a fantastic job of reading the lanes and finding where he needed to fit in this one. As he finds another lane here, though, the ball pops out. It looks like, and indeed, Wright recovers. He has a pick and a fumble recovery in this one. And as the stats roll into the booth up here, it is Wilfredo Abar who forced the fumble. Offense starting about midfield as they do hand off Irvin. He gains 3. Would love to see the offense just take control of this game this half, though that's been a struggle point of the team in their games. As great play on the RPO, Farrell with a first down. He's been a little bit more of the team's gadget player this year, finding himself a nice role his senior year. Irvin on the run. Finds a little lane, great block there, trying to stay in bounds, but he slows himself down to the 18. Of course, I have to shout out Aomanor on that, a huge block. Irvin now trying to get to the outside behind Big Mayberry, who never laid a hand on a defender. But honestly, he did good enough there. He at least slowed down the defenders. 2nd and 6, Bachmeier in a slight motion, as it's to the outside and a catch by Unger. Of course, seeing him making that catch, I feel like, I don't know if it was this episode or last episode, 85 was on the outside here. He made a couple grabs, and I'm pretty sure I kept calling him Unger, but that is Shield. So my apologies, as we are stopped on 3rd, though 4th and 1, the offense is staying out there. As they hand this one off Irvin, who stretches it to the outside. It's a match of speed as he shakes the tackle, and Irvin has another rushing touchdown. One of only possibly 2 this year. Honestly, that could be his first. We'll have to double check stats at the end, but it gives Stanford a home double score lead. And with the little bit of crowd that is here buying in here, we're actually seeing a little bit of a stadium pulse, which is great. Just got to make sure our defense keeps making plays as Sinclair bites the toes of Knighton, dragging him down with just about a gain of 1, whatever it takes. 2 spread either side as they do look to pass, finding the trailing receiver, and an awkward bit of a collision there. Leaves 3rd and 1. As we change up the look here, expecting the rush, but Knighton does get the first. Not sure what Edwards was doing on the crash. He definitely could have gotten there, possibly gotten the stop, instead he missed. It's Labor who helps actually get the stop. Edwards this time, though, does well. But it does very much seem like SMU relying on Knighton for most of their plays. Crashing here on the receiver screen, though, spinning off of it. What a play from 3. Should have been a play that we were praising Sinclair, but he just got spun off. 3rd and 5 as they try to set up some form of a screen, though I have honestly no idea who they tried to get that to. The running back went the opposite way, and it's going to be a punt instead. So while that may have looked a little bit more amateur than we would like, it ends up working out for us. 1st and 10, the offense back out here as we send a tight end all across the field. It's Irvin down the middle picking up 2. Not every time you're going to get that big rush, but as long as we're gaining yards, that's kind of progress for us. Wide receiver screen, though, they crash on it quickly. Bachmeier just back to the line with a 3rd and 8 then. We will go spread empty. First time today here for Daniels with no one else in the backfield, as he's got a receiver sitting open here. Bachmeier, first down. With that, the 4th quarter has arrived. It's time to put this game away, and oh, how times have changed, as SMU would be an upset victory here for the Stanford Cardinal. We start yet again with just a simple rush of 2. Irvin, the lone back to follow. As we go back to him, he's trying to find somewhere to go. Big hit, just again, a gain of 2. This time needing to pick up at least 6. If we add another 2, we will just get the job done. 2 tight ends to the right-hand side as it will be a drop back. We're gonna find A.O. Manor, who will get the first down, hitting that midfield line. He too hasn't really been used that much as a deep threat the last few games, but it's actually worked out pretty well for us. Tried to find him on this screen pass, read perfectly from the corner. Daniel's trying to keep that momentum on his team's side. We might get knocked down one play. Let's try to bounce back the next. Getting this one out to Farrell as he's going to definitely hit the edge here. He's got good enough speed, though. Smack down. Honestly, again, in our favor. Keeping us inbounds. We'll let this clock continue to roll as we'll stick with some RPOs here. And we will hand this one off, though Irvin is stuffed. Really looks like they're trying to start teeing up some blitzes here. So let's try to run a little bit more pure screens. Get this one out to A.O. Manor, who gets tackled from the guy being blocked. Might need just a little bit better there. Some better ball carrier vision. 3rd and 11. Hard count, no one moves. A.O. Manor, though, he's going to try to get to the outside, putting this one up, and what a catch from Shield Taylor. The senior tight end from Louisiana with potentially a game-type winning play. As it's out to Unger, he's going to lose 2 thereafter, takes a little bit momentum off of it. Still, though, doesn't take anything away from that kind of catch. Coming out in the pistol set here, going to send Unger to the right-hand side. Play clock ticking down. As Butler checks in at running back, team's power back, and he will lower a shoulder in there, make it 3rd and 8. And with a 2-minute warning to catch our breath as well, we've come up with an idea here for 3rd and 8, but can we make sure we get the job done? Will they bring the blitz? It's out to A.O. Manor. He's shy of the first, but he sets up a straightforward field goal attempt here for Flintoff. He's done great since stepping in. Can he go 4 of 4? Yes, he can. Widen that lead a little bit more. It was such a slow and methodical drive. We leave minimal time here for SMU to try to climb back into this one. Down to score as they start with a nice strike through the air. Again, something they haven't done too much today, keeping most of their play honestly pretty similar to our offense. Short. 1st and 10 for them at the 30. They'll continue airing out the ball, going down the field, and a perfect throw again for Stone. His receiver slips one, and immediately they are flipping the field. Now down to the opposite 25, as there's still a minute and a half left here. Continually trying to throw the ball to the outside. Labor, no, it's Edwards with just super soft coverage. Only one guy in the area, and SMU with as efficient of a drive as you could ask for. But of course, being down as much as they are here, going for 2 to try to draw this thing back to a possible winning play here, as some moonwalking actually gets them into the end zone. What a drive from SMU. Now we just got to make sure we recover the onside. Rogers sends this one up, and Rose recovers, and immediately the whistle is blown. No contact, fine by me. But with them only down by 6, we need to make sure we finish this drive. As we send Roush around the block here, hand this one off Irvin. He'll end up picking up 4, which is more than typical of late. And only one timeout remaining here from SMU. They called one earlier. Can't remember when. We could put this game away with a 1st down. Farrell takes it, picks up a big block from Irvin, and jukes. What's the spotting gonna be? It's gonna be a 1st down. And with that, the Cardinal win their 1st game of the season. And in a way, you could say dominant fashion. They handled this game really from the 2nd quarter throughout. Ashton Daniels, your player of the game, 84.2% complete, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns. He handled exactly what we needed him to do. Now, we didn't get the tight ends much involved, but literally everyone else on offense was involved. And it is the 1st win in the coaching career here of Barry Bearington in front of the home field. Well, hopefully that gets them back next time. And that, honestly might be one of the most rewarding games I've had so far here on College Football 25. We have tried so many things to just get a smooth playing offense, and that is exactly what we just saw. Defense made some big plays as well. We'll say SMU played a very plain Jane offense, but even on top of that, I mean, Preston Stone, he still had a really good game, 72% completion, and Knighton had a really good game rushing, 7.2 yards an average. Meanwhile, our running back in Irvin, just under 5, both did really well. Obviously, Daniels was the player of the game, and he had a fantastic game. We still didn't get the tight ends that much involved. It was our top 3 receivers. Then you saw some from Shield, Taylor, Roush, but I don't think that's going to be enough to get us back into the conversation for that original tight end that we were looking for in Reverend. But it was enough to get the verbal commit from our 4th player, Afa, not sure about the first name, you let me know, but Cobbs, the strong safety. But as we always have some good, we have to include the bad. We've dropped a little bit more here from Mateo Reverend. We were sitting at a C+ for playing style. Now we're down to a C, and on top of that, Texas Tech, and it looks like Houston is also getting mixed in here for looking at him. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. We did start to look at some other guys here, and we're still the only ones really offering them, but we're not in first for any. And all of these guys are all blocking. Hopefully they do have some hand ability, but Mateo really would be the perfect fit. So if we could get the tight ends back involved, that would be great, but honestly, we're not going to force it. As for other updates, let's start with the quarterbacks. Kumar still looks like he's going way of Cal. We'll see if we could start to really pull any of these back, and we might be at the stage. Proximity to home is important, but we might be able to find a good match here to start to hard sell this guy. So let's find just whatever matches are possible here. So program tradition will be a good mix for us. Let's see if the other match, because all of these will have 2, is playstyle. So honestly, that one might be a little bit better. So let's stick with that. And on top of that, we're also going to, we should be able to add DM the player. Okay, cool. The hours didn't update, but it did let us do it. So that is good for Kumar. Hopefully that helps us out. We also have him coming on a visit before Cal, as long as he doesn't commit before that. As for Chad Lloyd, it looks like Notre Dame's starting to get a little bit involved here as well. We don't know as much. Pro potential is important, so that does give us 2. So let's again go to the hard sell, or actually we're not into the top 5 yet, so we can't do that. But as soon as we cross into the top 5, then we should be able to. So not there yet for Lloyd, but both of these quarterbacks are starting to see some competition. As for the running back spot, we're still in the lead here against Arizona State and Arizona. We do have the earliest in terms of visits. We are already giving him the hard sell, and that is correct. So let's see if we could add DM the player just to try to create a little bit more separation there. As for the receiver in Yazzie, we're still on top here, and we have the earlier visit than anyone else. Already talked about the tight ends. Devin Bostic, this one is going down to the wire, but Texas, this is big. We didn't know this last time. They did schedule a visit, but it's after our week 11. So there is a chance we can still pull off this recruit. To help us do that, let's also tack on some more points to him. And then for the 2 guards, we really haven't been recruiting all too hardly. Irwin is currently in favor of going to Fresno, and I would be perfectly fine with dropping here. I am more trying to go after offensive linemen when it comes to the portal. They're going to be a little bit more developed. Shepard, we're still in front, and Mazza, we are still in front, though it looks like we should be able to schedule a visit as well. So let's tack him onto that week 11 bye, and the best thing we could do for him would be program tradition, so team history for him. Now, Rashad Bynum, we are 100% running away with this right now, almost into that top 3. Is there anything more we could do? Well, we could schedule a visit. We'll tack him as well onto that week 11. And program tradition is important for him. So again, we'll go with team history. Terrence Poe also still well ahead. No one else going after him. Might as well go ahead and add him as well, especially with all the boost, to that week 11. Now, playing time is really big for him. So how about attend a position meeting? We have a lot of older, senior, if I'm not mistaken, at least junior inside linebackers. So we could really use with Poe. Now, Hemphill is having a lot more teams come after him. Cal and Arizona State. He is a bust, but he's a 4-star. I still think he could be pretty solid. We did end up scouting him fully, and there's at least enough there that I think we could develop him. So I would still love to get him. We already have him scheduled. We've got a couple points left, so how about we tack on a little DM? Now, we do still have 20 points left, so I'm thinking we add another DT to our list here. Ronnie Zimmer. Doesn't have any offers, though if he could just walk onto USC, he would love to do that. We do have a pipeline with him, so let's get him on board and try to get some things going. We could use as many defensive lineman help as possible, so let's offer a scholarship. Now, we can't do much in terms of the actions right now, so we're just going to search him on social media, get us at least in the front door. But that will wrap us out here for today. Next time is Wake Forest. It's another winnable game, and I know just as much as I do, you all would love to see some more wins. We've been close on many. We finally got one, including our first ACC win. Completely skipped over that. Make sure you're here next time, as we might find our second, knock on wood, cross your fingers. Hit that bell icon in the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap the bell notification so you're notified when these videos go live. This series every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. States only challenge every single Tuesday, Thursday, as the Midwest might be finding themselves doing a little something here in season 2. Make sure you stay tuned there, and we will see you next time in Palo Alto as Wake Forest comes to town.